morning, or I believe this is day 11. So as you know, we camped at our drop last night instead of pushing to Taylor's Crossing, and just after coming over that 250 metre climb on the single trail, it was a good choice because that was slow going to get up and over to get onto this fire trail I'm on now. We're descending into Taylor's Crossing now. We'll be on fire trail and road from here to the end. But it's very technical, that's why I haven't hopped on the blower yet. So just doing it now that we're on the fire trail and we're descending. So, and I did check, absolutely, this goes until I get on the road. There is no single trail that goes off to the side somewhere that I'll forget about. So learning. So last night we put together a plan for the rest of the trail. So I actually have 5 days of food in my pack now instead of 4, because when I get to my next drop I need 9 days of food instead of 8. That's what I've envisaged. So I'm lugging an extra day of food on this little stretch to compensate for what I don't have in my next drop. Oh, it's going to be heavy in my next drop when I start carrying that. Bloody hell. I shed a lot of gear that up to this point I just hadn't used. You know, maybe I used it once and it was just out of, I should use it. So if that was the case for it, it went into my drop container along with my rubbish bag, which I then put in a sealable bag, so it's in another bag inside the drop. So I'm also not carrying, I don't know, what would it be, maybe 600 grams in waste, so that's gone as well. But what I did do is I picked up 2 power banks. So I have one which is only coming with me for these 4 days, and it's a bit of a beast power bank. It's a 20 amp hour and Anchor, and it's an older version, and it's a beast for charging. Gets everything up and going really quickly. So I'm going to spend the next 4 days just using it to charge absolutely everything. I mean, I have a cord here, white cord on my shoulder. It's plugged into that battery pack that's in the backpack. If the phone gets to a point where it needs power today, I'll plug it in. I'm just going to burn power off it, and then it will go in my next drop, hopefully flat, because I'd used it, and everything else will be fully charged. And then from there I have 9 days. My other battery bank's quite big as well. It's a 23 amp hour. It's heavy though. So what is then in my brain is my Garmin Mini will need to be charged fully at least once. So if I make sure it's fully charged up when I get to my next drop, it then needs to be charged, fully charged at least once. And then a top up, you know, say 40% one other time, and that'll get me home on just tracking. My watch I just top it up every day. I think at a stretch I could get it to go 2 days tracking if I was doing normal days. So as I say, I've replanned everything. So I have a 4 day stretch to my drop at Hotham. I then have 9 days from there through to Walhalla. The average is 25 k's a day, but I planned not to do 25 k's a day everywhere. I'll do my best to do what I can where I can, right? So today it's 24 is the aim I'm doing today. So it just falls at a campsite at 24 and there's nothing beyond that, and I've got to climb after Taylor's Crossing, so, and then at 24 you're in a creek, so if you want to continue you're doing another climb instantly. So 24 sounds good, and we'll just do a climb first thing in the morning. And that's how I sort of organised it. When I get to the Viking, I think I've only organised a 14k day around the Viking. It's quite short, but I think I'll spend a lot of time, you know, working my way around through that area. And then there's a day it's flat. You're up the top, it's flat. There's nothing more than a 100-metre climb. And it's all fire trail for that whole time. That's a push day. That'll be flog yourself, get as far as you can, Matt. Right, so get yourself in the positives so you can cater for, I mean, so we're a minus 11 at Viking, right? So I need to get 11 back somewhere, sort of thing. So my averages all seem to work. If I'm capable of doing them is another thing. I'm not. Look, I don't want to extend, because I just don't want to be out here longer on the trail. But I'm not totally against it. If I found myself like, shit, this is way harder, Matt, you cannot do what you're thinking of, you're going to need another full day to, you know, get this little area here crossed off because it's taking you too long, so be it. I will just have to let my ride know. I have to talk to my ride anyway to say this is the day I'll be there at around this time. So she only has a ballpark that it's the 19th, and that's what I told her when I was starting out, when I left my car there. So, you know, a lot of water's gone under the bridge since then, so we'll see. But that was helped by my two, you know, my 53 and my 49k day sort of threw me so far up the road that I then didn't have to keep doing ridiculous work to get like distances to get where I need to get. And down south here they're loving the, you know, we'll take you over the tallest point, send you down to the bottom, and then see that tallest point over there, we'll go back up over that one, right? So they're liking that down here. So your climbs are a lot bigger. So we'll see. I mean, look, I have a plan now for last week. If I can hold to it or not is another thing, but it's a doable plan in my head, which is totally different. I was starting to max out. I think I have a cold, and I think that's just from slamming really hard long days for, you know, a week now, pushing hard to get down here. So, you know, I'm a little bit under, the energy levels are a little bit low, so I need to get those back up. See how he goes, that sun's in your eyes, right? Alright, you go over there, Mr. Hand, that's it, you go in there, another Mr. Pole in there like that. That never works on this side. Why does this side never work properly? There we go. I can never get it. There we go. Finally figured it out. Brain for thinking. So yeah, had a lot of trouble working on that last night. So I mean, I had to go through and get my plan organised while I was doing that food drop, because I tell you how bad I am at eating. Even though my meals are gone, because you know, you have one every night, that's fine. I still had 3 days of snacks in my bag. When did I miss 3 days of food? I mean, I'm a day up, right? So okay, take one of those out. I'm still 2 days of food. Where the hell is... What am I doing lugging that shit around? So anyway, a pile of that went in the drop. And I just collected just that one extra for after Hotham that I'm going to require. But I'm not... I'm really sucking at eating again. Why do I suck at eating? Why do I suck at eating on trails? So bad. I hope it's a... I mean, I have gels for the end of the day, right? You know, I'm a cyclist, so we use gels when we ride. And I also use them when I walk. And they're usually my... Mate, you're 4 or 5 Ks from home. Get that gel down. Get that energy to get you there, right? I have so many. When have I not been taking my gels? All the freaking time, apparently. So I have heaps. I've got 2 in my side pocket today. So I'm taking both of those. You can take one in the morning to get yourself up this next climb after Taylor's Crossing, and then you can have another one to get you home to camp. And for the next few days, that's doable for me now. I can do that. I've got to remember to do it. Eating's so hard. When I exercise, I'm not hungry. And the problem is, if you're doing this, you're walking all day, that's exercise the whole day. I just don't want to eat the whole day. I mean, I'll be hungry, the tummy will rumble, but the thought of putting anything in my mouth and chewing on it is just, no. So it is always a struggle for me. But I've got to do better. You can hear that wind, right? That wind was all night. It sort of settled down in the morning to then it'd be quiet and you just get a gust here and there. But that was freight train the whole night. The only good thing about that was I left my doors half zipped, so the bottom half could flap around and I had no condensation or anything anywhere. And it did not get below 16 degrees last night. I had a couple of firsts last night. First time I've slept without my beanie. First time I've slept without my puffy on. First time I've slept without socks, which, you know, maybe my quilt's not too happy about that when you see my feet. But, and I had my feet out and my arms out quite often last night. That's crazy. The air is so warm. It is right now 17 degrees right now. The air is so warm. I mean, no, it's blowing a gale, but it's still crazy warm, right? So anyway, I've got to get down to Taylor's Crossing and get my brain into gear for the fact that then the rest of the day is climbing, really. I got to get up a mountain. And I think it's fire trail climbing today. Which is what I think I mentioned last night, wasn't it? I got a bit upset when I saw it was fire trail. Although, you know, single trail is slow. I only do maybe 2 Ks an hour on single trail. Fire trail, is a 3.5. Oh, and the other thing I've been really not wanting to mention, because I'm a bit worried about mentioning it, is that the tendon on my right foot, the one that's been giving me hell since day 2, didn't even feel it yesterday, and I'm not feeling it today so far. And I didn't really feel it the day before, except for early in the morning. So I'm just wondering if it has now settled down and come to terms with what's going on. If it has, then my ability to get more pace in is there, because I wasn't able, my ear stuck out, I wasn't able to stretch out on the flats and whatnot and put my heel down. I was literally just going, I wasn't going kadunk, you know, heel, foot. I was just going slap, slap, slap with my right foot, and that just to sort of take that the load off that part of the foot, because if you're stretching it, which you do when you're putting your heel down first, it was just impossible. So, and that slowed me up, right? That really slowed my pace up. So now I'm doing heel toe all the way, so my pace can be quicker. Let's see how we go. He's hoping, touch wood, in my next chance I get, I'll touch it, that it stays like this, and it allows me to clear easy sections really quickly, because I then have to deal with hard sections slowly and time, right? Let's see. Anyway, part of that is me getting down this fire trail onto the road really quickly, so I'll leave it here and I'll catch you down the trail. See you guys. like storms are coming. Oh, we need to get down. Beat these freaking storms. Holy crap, look at that mess over there. Evening all. Today was a good day. We put together, from memory, about 34 Ks, but remember I said yesterday we'd planned a setup, you know, this is how many days it's going to take us to get there, this is how many Ks you've got to do, and I'd mapped where I was going to stay at minimums. One of those places was Gill Creek. And I came out of there. I'm at Sunnyside historic place, so you know, at the foot of Mount Willis effectively. So I, get up in the morning and I have a crack for the summit straight away. Sorry. Got to stretch out the right leg because it hates me otherwise. There we go. So let me see. So we bolted down into Taylor's Crossing pretty quickly, which was needed because that climb from Taylor's Crossing out to get up to the top of not even a mountain, but it was a 750 meter climb. Man, that took a lot of time. That was a lot of effort. And I saw a wild black cat almost up the top, about where 8 Mile track up there, up that height. It was right. I was walking along this fire trail, it saw me and bolted. But yeah, that's not good, is it? And the deer, saw another deer, heard a deer. You probably will hear the deer in the video, descending down our first creek crossing, he was making a noise. He also heard me coming. But there, charcoal grey. Charcoal grey seems to be the favourite colour of all the animals in, you know, Kosciuszko and here. The deers are charcoal grey up there in Kosci as well, and the horses. Lots of charcoal grey horses as well. So that climb took most of, yeah, better part of the day, right? The middle part of the day took a better part of the day. It took to get up there. That was hard haul. That was, and that was fire trail. And that was a hard haul to get up there. And then we came off and descended on single trail. Oh, you Victorians love a sketchy descent. Oh my god. All the way down to Gill Creek. I mean, it was better than yesterday's single trail, where in fact yesterday's single trail, I realised last night, had plucked the protective cover off my phone. That's how rough it was. You're in battle to get through that one yesterday, and my watch lost its protective cover in there, which is funny because the protector clips on, but it goes right underneath, and the only place that it doesn't on the back of the watch is the sensors. Otherwise it covers the whole back of the watch, so I mean it has to pluck it pretty hard to get it off. Anyway, it was missing last night, so that's where it'll be, because we were in, you know, hand-to-hand battle with that single trail. Today's was just overgrown, so everything was up head chest height. The trail was underneath, you could see the trail underneath, but everything was at head chest height, and you fought your way down to Gill Creek. And then Gill Creek, I looked at Gill Creek, it was the first time people hadn't laid timber or put rocks in to get across with dry feet, right? And I went, oh, it's the first time I'm going to have to take my shoes and socks off. And I just descended down, and my feet are taped. I do not want to do my taping again. So I looked at the shortest part. I looked at what was on the other side, which were pile of ferns, and I just binned my bag across to the other side along with my hiking poles, and I took a run and jump without the stuff on and made it to the other side. So, all dry, happy days. Anything to do not to take my shoes and socks off. So that was where I was supposed to camp tonight, and the camp spot was so tiny. My tent is a Durston X-Mid 2 Pro, right? So it's a 2-person tent. My luxury item is the second space in my tent, because I like to, you know, bag, explosion, and bed, if that makes sense to you. So, oh, that's a bit bright, isn't it? Ugh. Flare out. And it would have taken up that whole space, and it would have been wet and cold down there, and I'm thinking, oh, my tent was dry from all that wind last night. Everything was dry. It's the first time I packed it down. I even clipped the ground sheet to the bottom, because I thought, yay, I can clip it to the bottom and it's dry. Everything's dry. I can then just throw it out tonight and happy days, which I did. But down in Gill Creek, everything would have been wet, absolutely saturated, and it would take me ages to clean it, and then I'll have to haul my way out. Now, as I was in there, my whole thought process was, like, I don't want to be here. It's too wet, it was too damp. The whole place was damp. I was like, I don't want to be here. So we've got to climb out. And I in my head is the climb will be the same as the descent in to Gill Creek, which was hairy as and steep. So what I did is I filled up with water. I emptied the back pocket of my backpack, put all that into my actual backpack itself, and I filled up the dirty water bag, which is 2 litres of dirty water. Alright, you can see it underneath my trash bag there with the orange lid. That is my dirty water bag. So I filled up my dirty water bag and I put that in the back pocket, and I had lugged basically 5 litres of water up that hill. But this side, I mean, if you're descending or going north, or you're climbing coming south, it's so much better. Oh, the grade is so much better. It allows you just to diesel out. All right, you can just sit in a nice slow cruise and just cruise your way out. I didn't have to battle anything. It was so much clearer. I mean, there's so like the amount of gum trees that are down, they're everywhere. Branches are down. There were ones that were bolt straight like telegraph poles, and they just sledged so many trees on the way down, and there's stuff everywhere. So, you know, you play the obstacle course. But beyond that, great climb out. So then you get up, and then you have to do 3 rollers to get to Omeo Highway. I really hadn't thought about it. There's no camping, right? There's just no camping anywhere except for Gill Creek. And then after Gill Creek is pretty much up the top, Mount Willis. It's like, there's no way I'm going up there. Not tonight. Dude shagged. I did. What did I do? Oh, I'll have to have a look. I did a bucket of climbing. I'd already done a bucket of climbing. I couldn't do more, right? In fact, I'd already done one, that climb coming out of Gill Creek. Well, I was supposed to do tomorrow anyway, right? So, anyway. Let's quickly have a gander here. I try to always take a capture of my phone. So I did 1900 meters in climbing today, right? How long did that all take me? 11 hours. Man, I'm slow. Oh, God, I've got old and slow. So, you know, it's 1900 meters in climbing. You're pretty buggered, so I actually thought I'd just plop down on the trail somewhere, but the trail never entertained a space for you on the way out. Even on the trail itself, it never entertained a space for you. And then I remember reading in the book, the Chatwin's Guide, that is it Sunny something. Anyway, where I am now was an alright place to camp, except for there's no water available. But I knew there was no water available after Gills Creek until the summit up at Mount Willis at the hut, so I was like, I have to hump water anyway. If I was going to continue, if I'd stayed in Gills Creek, I could have just filled there and just gone the whole way on one run of, you know, bottles. But of course I wasn't staying there. I knew I was camping in between. I needed water to get through to Wheels, because I got to cook and eat, right? So that's what's going on there. So everything was fine. I mean, it was hard yakka. The climbing was hard yakka. When I got to Gills Creek, I didn't want to climb or descend anything anymore. I just didn't like the campsite, so I forced myself. But once I put my mind to it and said I have to come up here, I was fine. And then I tore along Omeo Highway, and I ended up here. It's a bit off the track. I mean, if you're tight like me and you don't want to add distance to whatever you're doing, you won't want to come here. And even though I was walking in going, I'm dropping down a bit too far, aren't I? But there's a campsite straight after the historic sign, so, and that's probably 150 meters in from the road, maybe a little bit more. I won't have tomorrow. It seems bad now because all this descending, I've got to climb this tomorrow, but you know, I've had a sleep and my legs will be gold and I won't even notice it tomorrow, so it'll be fine. But it's not a bad little camp spot there. You could put plenty of tents here, So We've already had drops of rain. It's been threatening the whole day. Excuse me. The whole day it's been threatening to rain, but the clouds have been moving so fast that you get spots and then nothing, because that cloud that's raining had raced past you so quickly. Seems to be doing the same now. That wind from yesterday is still here, hasn't gone anywhere, still windy. So messy. Now I've got to go back through the book. I'm just going to go back in the book, have a look, because Madison was going to be my stop tomorrow. I have one rule after making my change, and that's I can't do less than what I estimated each day. I can do more like I did today, but I can't do less. So I can go to Madison if I wanted tomorrow, and it'll wipe off whatever I did today, right? So then I'm still even with what I've worked out. So, or I can blow past Madison further down the trail and maintain this add-on that I added today. So I'll look into all that. And see what happens. So hopefully I get service up the top. Haven't talked to anybody since Kosciuszko Summit Day. That was the last time I talked to anybody. There's no service anywhere. And that's about it. My right foot's okay. That has stopped hurting. I mean, the thing that's hurting, and it's on both feet now, is the heels. Of course, you're spending so much time going uphill and you're slamming back into your shoe. I mean, I'm tearing. The inside of my shoe is tearing, and I noticed on my left inner sole, I've started to tear through the heel cup on the inner sole as well. It's that much. It's like you're smashing into the back of the shoe to push yourself up such steep plate, and there's so much climbing that so much of your time your foot is being slammed into the back of your shoe. So both my heels are crooked. So, but that is just from the walking, right? There's no injury there. That's just overused, bruised and sore from bloody being hammered the whole time. So that is about all. We go up tomorrow, check out the hut, and push on, try and keep our advantage. Yeah, that's it, mate. My brain's gone bloop. So that's it. I'm gonna eat. I've got my food sitting over there waiting for me to start eating it instead of talking to you guys. So alright, catch you tomorrow, day 12 I believe. Catch ya.